It's I don't know what's going on, but today I have a doctor's appointment with Orthopedic Specialist, and hopefully we're gonna get to the bottom of this. I've been trying to get an appointment at an orthopedic specialist for like a week now, but every one of them in town has basically like a month wait to even schedule an assessment appointment. So that was pretty disheartening because the Kettle 100 is in less than a month. But I was able to find a pretty accomplished orthopedic specialist in Carmel, which is about an hour away, who could see me today. It's Wednesday, May 8th. It's a little over an hour drive. It's not a big deal. I'm not going to bring the camera into the doctor's office because even as much as I do film myself, I still think that's weird. So I'm not going to do that, but I will be updating you with what I find today. And like I said earlier, I'm probably not going to find out anything today. It's probably just going to be an assessment. Who knows? They might schedule some tests, maybe an MRI. I don't know. Hopefully he looks at my knee and is just like, oh yeah, this is what it is. Exactly. There's no other possibilities it could be. So I'm just preparing myself for the worst. I'm preparing myself to still not know anything after this appointment. Maybe wait another week or two, which sucks because this clock is ticking towards this race. I really want to know if I'm running it or not. All right, made it, and I'm about to head in. Kind of nervous. I don't know what to expect really. It's time to take care of this injury. So I'll be back in a second. At this point, I go into the doctor's office and meet with the doctor. He asks me a lot of questions, does some tests on my knees, and within a couple minutes, he knows exactly what it is, and he tells me that it's IT band syndrome. Like a lot of runners get it. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's also a pretty bad injury. It's pretty hard to recover from, especially if you keep running. So at this point, I go into the doctor's office. Of course, you know, I'm a new patient, so I have to fill out a whole bunch of paperwork. This place is actually like a medical sports facility, so it's one of the reasons why I sought it out. A lot of the doctors there specialize in sports injuries, and this doctor specifically that I saw is an orthopedic specialist, orthopedic surgeon, was a hockey player like his whole life, specializes in knees and ankles. Really had a lot of faith in him going into the appointment, and then just sitting and talking with him too, I just really trusted this doctor. We take a bunch of x-rays of my knees. He comes in, kind of looks at them and decides that there's nothing really wrong going on inside my knees. He said they're very symmetrical. He said they look like really good knees. Like he's actually surprised that I run it as much as I do, which was kind of cool to hear. Then we do some, like he does some tests, like he kind of is like feeling around and like bends my knee back and forth a little bit. We'd find like the pressure points that hurt the most, and he basically says, okay, good news, bad news. Bad news is, yes, you're injured. Good news is you don't need surgery. So that was awesome to hear. The diagnosis was IT band syndrome. So if any of you guys have had it, you know what this feels like, you know how painful it is, and you know how long the recovery can be. This is an incredibly common runner's injury. It's just basically an overuse injury. There's a piece of tissue that goes from your hip down to the lower part of your leg, like just below your knee. When it passes by your knee, a lot of times that's where the most irritation occurs, and that's where the injury occurs often. And since you use your legs and your IT band so much, it's really hard to heal it unless you do a lot of physical therapy. So I'm going to jump back to just after I found out what was going on with my knee. It's not serious. Well, it kind of is, but it's IT band syndrome. The reason why I didn't think it was that at first is because I thought I had this before, but it might have been something completely different, and it hurt in a totally different spot on my other leg. It was much higher. You know, what was confusing is that this pain actually felt like it was inside my knee. So, really good news is that there's no surgery. I'm gonna start going to physical therapy. He also told me that he's not gonna stop me from running, which is awesome. He said it's gonna be painful for a while until it heals. I'm not doing damage to my knee that's irreversible unless this goes for months and months. So he said I need to attack it. That's really good news. So as of right now, the Midwest Super Slam is still on. Woo! Yeah! Oh man, that's good. Oh man, I'm so excited. So excited. I was, honestly guys, I was so afraid that there was gonna be surgery required and that I was gonna be out for the year and that this was all falling apart. But man, I mean, it's gonna be painful and it's gonna be a lot of work, but it seems like if I can do the physical therapy and if I can do the stretching and if I can take care of it, it seems like the Midwest Super Slam is still on. All right, so I'm going to pick this up when I get home. I'm gonna just sit and think for a while and be thankful that I do not need surgery. As long as I can take care of this, we are good to go. So now the day after, I actually get into physical therapy and I start the process, and it's a lot of work. I've got all these exercises that I do 3 times a day. Lots of stretching, lots of core exercises, lots of hip exercises. 3 times a day. It takes in between like 20 to 30 minutes to do it all. So it's kind of like, it's nearly like 90 minutes a day of exercises. And I've been hitting them like real hard, like making sure morning, afternoon, evening, I'm getting them done every single day. I've actually gone in to physical therapy like 4 times now in the last couple days. I'm just really trying to hit this like as hard as I can. My physical therapist knows that I'm trying to run 100 miles in 2 weeks. She says that she's seen comebacks happen that quick from IT band syndrome, so we're hoping for the best. I have seen a lot of progress. Like before I went to see the doctor and before physical therapy, my IT band was starting to hurt within minutes of the beginning of my run, which was like seriously disappointing and just like really demoralizing. Since then, like I've been going on like 5-mile runs, taking like quick walk breaks throughout. No real pain so far. Also I want to tell you, I've been running recently in these new Ultra Duos. They've been out for a long time, but they're new to me. I've never ran in them before. They are Ultra's most maximal road shoe. Picked up a pair of these and been running recently with these, and they've been helping a lot. Once I figure out if like all of this routine and everything I'm doing is working, I'll actually put a full video together on like the whole IT band syndrome therapy routine that I've been given. Just get it out there as a resource for in case any of you guys are struggling with the same thing. This weekend, actually tomorrow morning, I'm gonna go down to the Gnawbone 50 miler and just jump into it and just see what happens. I'm not going to try to run 50 miles, like don't freak out. I'm just going to go there and spend a long day out in the woods. Just kind of like a long training run in a beautiful state park with aid stations and a lot of friends. Going camping tonight down there with my friend Matt, and then just going to spend a long day out on the trails. I'm gonna walk a lot, I'm gonna hike a lot, I'm gonna do some running, but I really just wanna see where I am 2 weeks out from the kettle. I just wanna be out in the woods, so I'm gonna be smart about it. So if something really starts hurting, I'll just sit at an aid station for a while. And if it gets really bad, I'll just get a ride back to the start. Like I'm gonna be smart about it. I'm not gonna do something stupid. But I do wanna get out there and just see what is going on with my knee. See what happens when I just spend a day out in the woods. I want to thank Inside Tracker for helping me monitor my blood work and my health. I want to thank a new sponsor that I'm going to announce very soon. Thanks Ultra Running for putting shoes on my feet. We're gonna go try to have a fun day tomorrow. I'm gonna bring you guys along. Thank you so much for all the positivity and just the encouragement. You guys are awesome. I'm so thankful that I just get to share my story with you guys, and hopefully I can help somebody, whether you're dealing with a potential injury or whether you're just looking for some encouragement to get outside and run. I hope I can do that for you. So thank you so much for following along, and stick with me. The Midwest Super Slam is still on.